I have a video on my second YouTube channel, which gets 250 views every single day. On repeat, 250 new viewers per day. Now, in the first year of that video being posted, it only had maybe 10,000, 15,000 views. And then a year later, it's now on maybe 70,000 views. I would need to check for the exact number. But that video got me thinking, okay, what is the actual secret to getting a viral video? How do you get a viral video? Is there an actual formula to print viral videos on repeat? Do these elite guys actually know what will go viral? So I tested it out and I made a separate channel, and it was based around like comedy videos, just shorts. And the first video that I posted on that channel got 4.5 million views. Now, I'd say that 4.5 million views is pretty viral, right? Thousands of views per day. So I thought, okay, maybe this viral formula is a thing. Maybe there is a way to go viral every single time on social media. So I copied the formula I used for that video, and my second video got 10,000 views. And then the video after that got only 7,000 views. Now, this got me thinking, and this brings me into the point of the video. Maybe there isn't actually a formula to going viral. And obviously you've seen in the title that I'm going to explain to you how to go viral in with YouTube and social media, but here's the caveat. Nobody actually really knows. I've got 4 points written down here that I want to go through in this video, and hopefully by the end of it you'll understand virality a little bit more. But the first point I want to make is that no one actually knows what is going to go viral, right? Because even the guys like, Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, KSI, IShowSpeed, the guys that we've all seen on our timelines at one point or another, even those guys don't know exactly how many views and how viral each video will go. They don't know what's going to be a 1 out of 10 video and what's going to be a 10 out of 10 video. They just have their systems in place that, they have an idea of what's going to go viral, but they don't actually know for a fact. Mr. Beast cannot sit there and say, I know for a fact that this video will get 500 million views. I know for a fact that this video will get, 1 billion views. He doesn't actually know. He just trial and errors it and hopes with a bit of randomness that it's going to work out and going to go viral. So you've got a lot of these guys thinking, okay, if I just copy this formula, then I'm going to go viral. If I copy this formula, I'm going to go viral. Let me make this type of video and I'm going to go viral. People follow trends, they follow the patterns of the viewers, but I don't think that is the correct way to go about building a YouTube channel, especially if you're trying to make money from YouTube. If you're trying to make money from YouTube, following these viral trends is not the way. Like I've said, I've done both. I've made educational content specifically, and I've also made entertainment content specifically. And the entertainment content gets way more views. That 4.5 million video, entertainment. The video that gets 250 views every single day, entertainment. But my educational content gets a fraction of those views, but I make way more money from the educational one than I do from the entertainment one. So you've got to think to yourself, what is your goal? Why are you making these videos? Why are you making content? Or why do you want to start making content? Is it just for the vanity metric of getting views and going viral and becoming popular? Or do you actually want to make some serious money for it? Because I know for a fact me, and maybe even you watching this as well, I'd much rather make lots of money than be popular and famous and not make as much money. I think I'd take that trade every single day. But get this in your head, the first point. No one actually knows specifically what is going viral. There's all different types of videos that go viral, and the truth is you can go viral, whatever niche, whatever type of video you make, it can go viral. It has the opportunity, it has the chance to go viral. Of course, there's some underlying characteristics of a viral video, but anyone in any niche can go viral. I've seen guys who make faceless videos go viral. I've seen guys who just sit and talk to the camera like I'm doing to you now get millions of views. I've seen guys with lots of flashy editing get millions of views. I've seen lots of guys with vlog channels get millions of views. But the problem is when you switch from each type of video to another, you do vlogs one day, then you do a PowerPoint presentation, then you do a talking head video, then you do a faceless video. That is not the formula to go viral. You need the consistency, and you need to always be making similar types of videos and getting your audience on your side. I'll digress from that point now because it's a bit more detailed and I'll save it for a later video, some YouTube hacks that you guys can look forward to. But all you need to know from this first point is that no one actually knows exactly what is going to go viral because there is an element of randomness to it. Now, before I get into the other 3 points, if you want to know exactly how to become an educational content creator and monetize that through a community, then I'll teach you exactly how to do it from step A to step Z. Click the top link in the description, it'll take you to my program. The second point that I want to make is that people are starting to work out the formula. People are starting to realize that it's not about, these flashy high production videos, but it's also not about just doing vlogs, but it's also not just about having lots of editing, but it's also just not about doing shorts. People are starting to realize that, okay, as a consumer, I can see what these guys are doing here. And I don't know about you, but for me specifically, if I watch a video and I can see like the introduction and the way of editing is just blatantly copying some other big creator within that niche, I get cringed straight away. If I see someone whose videos and introductions look exactly like Iman Gadzhi's or look exactly like some top guy in a different niche, you just cringe. You're like, oh, you can see what you're trying to do. You're trying to be like these top guys, and it's cringy because it's not authentic. It's cringy because it's not you. It's not your personality. You're trying to be someone else. And if you try to be someone else, you're always going to be at least in second place or further down because, the only thing you can be the best at is being yourself. And when you try to copy someone else, you're never going to be as good as they are at being themselves. So you need to find a new, unique style, a unique selling point, rather than copying all the big boys in the niche that you're currently in. You need to find your own way, your own style, and authenticity, and just being real and being honest and sharing your own stories and doing the videos how you like to do your own videos, rather than looking at the top guys and thinking, oh, he edits like this, so I'm going to do this. He has this in his intro, so I'm going to do this in my intro. He has music in the background, so I'm going to have music in the background. Just be authentic, be yourself. Whatever type of videos you like to watch, just do that. Whatever you find nice and fun to record, just do that. Because people are starting to realize. People can see when someone's trying to go viral and they're doing too much, they're too over the top. Because the truth is that going viral is cool, it's sick. But trying to go viral and trying too hard to be popular and pop off is cringy. And no one likes someone who's trying too hard to go viral. People love people who just authentically and naturally go viral because of who they are and the way they present themselves. People hate people who copy and try and go viral based off, copying other people's formulas. So you've got to get that balance right, because people are starting to wake up. Consumers and customers of your products and your videos are starting to realize if you copy these big boys, you're just going to be put in the cringe category. Whereas when you're authentic and real, you're going to be having more chance to, pop off and go viral because of who you are and because your personality is coming out to play. The third point that I want to make is that anything and anyone can go viral. You look at your homepage, your recommended page. If you start a new channel or go on incognito mode, you can see videos with hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions of views, and it'll be like, first of all, there's some guy who's 18 just talking to the camera, million views. Then there's a guy in his 40s who's in the wilderness talking to his camera, millions of views. There's a guy with all flashy thumbnails and flashy editing, millions of views. There's guys who make videos like Mr. Beast, millions of views. There's guys who just vlog their day, millions of views. Anyone and anything can go viral. There is not one set video that goes viral. And I've seen a lot of guys these days, like I've mentioned previously, trying to copy and replicate formulas that just, they aren't there. That's not the way to do it. Because even if you do go viral from that formula, you have to then continue that formula, and you're just playing a role of someone that you're not actually that person. You're just playing a role of someone that went viral. And it's going to be hard to keep it up in the long term. People are going to realize that you're not true to yourself, you're not authentic, and in the long run, it won't be beneficial. In the short term, there might be some benefits, but in the long run, you're going to get caught out, and people are going to start to fall away because you're not authentic, you're not true to who you actually are. It's not showing your personality. But you look at any, homepage, recommended page, any types of videos that have hundreds of thousands, millions of views, there's not one set formula. There's all different types of formulas in all different types of niches. And again, like I said, there's, specific elements with, the introduction and how charismatic you are and all these different types of things. But overall, the actual, video itself can be pretty much anything. And you can be pretty much anyone as long as you're authentic and true to yourself. Anything, anyone, any style of video can go viral. And the fourth point that I want to make is relatability and understanding. So the title of this video obviously is about virality and going viral in 2025. And from my research and what I see the trend and the pattern going to is that relatability and people being able to connect with you is going to be the new way of going viral, because we have this AI stuff coming out. We have the AI boom, as some people are calling it, on the rise, and people are not stupid, right? People can see what's going on with AI. People can see people, leveraging AI for content and using AI to make their content easier, or try and, hack the viral formula using AI. Humans are not stupid, man. We deep down don't like the idea of robots and artificial intelligence taking over the human connection. And there's a deep down subconscious integrated function in humans to want to connect and relate to another human. It goes back to our hunting gatherer days, being in tribes. It's built within our DNA to find a tribe who we can relate with, who we can protect, who we can build and grow with. It's deep down within us. We're never going to change that. It's tens of thousands of years of evolution, which we're not going to change anytime soon, and especially not within our lifetimes. We're not going to change that subtle DNA, ingrained into us. So people want tribes. People want to connect with other humans. And with the AI and all these different types of things coming out and people faking it to go viral, all these things add up to being unauthentic, and that leads to being unrelatable. And I promise you, the best way to sort of go viral, achieve your dreams, actually blow up on YouTube in the coming future will be to be relatable, to be understanding. And how you do this practically is share your stories, be real, let people see your growth and your progress. If you're not very good at talking on camera at the moment, who cares? One day you'll be a little bit better and people can look back and say, look at the progress that this guy's made. And you just work hard every single day to get that little bit better, and people will start to recognize it. And it's about the consistency, and it's about the consistent growth and upgrading, which people will really, really like. I know guys who have made videos for 7-8 years now, and not until the last year or two they've actually started to pop off, and now they've got everything they want. But if I told you that in 5 to 10 years time, if you put the work in now and you slog it out and you do the daily or the weekly tasks that you have to do every single week on repeat, if I told you that in 5, 6, 7 years you'd have everything that you've ever wanted, you'd snap my hand off to take that deal, right? And that's what's on the table for a lot of us now. Being authentic and being understanding, sure, it's not going to pop you off straight away, but it eventually, in the future, people will start to recognize the authenticity, and they'll start to recognize the level of relatability. And especially with all this AI and people faking it, all these things are going to come into congruence at the same time, in my opinion. And the guys who are being authentic and being relatable and being understanding and being open and honest about it, they're the ones that are going to be pushed to the top. And the guys faking it, trying to go viral and using all these AIs to try and leverage virality, they're just going to be pushed straight to the bottom and be counted out. And like I said, it's the long-term gratification versus short-term gratification. Yes, you can win now with AI, but I think in the future, long-term, it's best to be authentic, to be understandable, to be relatable, and that is what is going to give you the biggest benefits. Now, I've covered the 4 points there. If you enjoyed this video, you want more points like this, plus an in-depth guide of how to become an educational content creator online. I talk heavily about YouTube, but I'll talk about Instagram and Twitter as well. How to become an educational content creator online and then use that educational content to make monthly income using a school community, and then automate that school community so that you get thousands of pounds into your bank account every single month with only a few hours of work per week. Now, this sounds very salesy. It's like, how does that even work? That's not how business works. Trust me, I've got guys, I've got friends, I've got mates, I've got clients who have done this exact same thing. I've got guys like Luke or like Will who are doing this thing now where they're creating the educational content, they're making monthly income on repeat residually, and only working a couple of hours per week in order to sustain and automate this whole process. So if that sounds good to you, again, click the top link in the description. It'll take you to my program, and I will walk you through every step of the way. I will be there, not one of my team. I won't, offload you to someone else. It'll be me specifically reviewing your YouTube videos, reviewing your sales page, reviewing your business, and holding your hand until you get the results that you desire.